Hey there, English learners. Welcome back to English Flow. I'm Hope.
And I'm Mark. Today, we're tackling something that makes even confident English speakers break into a cold sweat: ordering food in English without embarrassing yourself.
Picture this. You walk into a restaurant, the server approaches with a smile, and suddenly your mind goes completely blank. You know you're hungry, you can see the menu, but somehow you can't form a single coherent sentence about what you want to eat.
We've all been there. You end up pointing at the menu like a confused tourist, mispronouncing dish names, or worse, ordering something completely different from what you actually wanted, and then eating it anyway because you're too embarrassed to correct the mistake.
But here's the thing. Ordering food isn't just about getting fed. It's about feeling like you belong, like you're not an outsider struggling with basic life tasks. When you can order food confidently, you feel like a local, not a lost tourist.
Today, we're going to change all that. We're teaching you how to order food like someone who actually lives here, not like someone who just fell off a tour bus.
By the end of this episode, you'll walk into any restaurant with confidence. You'll know exactly what to say, how to ask questions, and most importantly, how to avoid those cringe-worthy moments that keep you awake at 3 a.m.
Let's start with the basics because this is where most people go wrong.
The biggest mistake English learners make when ordering food? They try to translate directly from their native language, but food culture, restaurant culture, and the language around eating varies dramatically between countries.
For example, in many countries, you might say something like, "Give me chicken." But in English-speaking restaurants, that sounds incredibly rude. You need to understand the politeness patterns that make you sound natural, not demanding.
The magic words that transform you from rude customer to welcome guest? I'll have. Could I get? And I'd like. These phrases are your golden tickets to sounding like a local.
Let's practice the basic structure. Instead of "give me burger," you say, "I'll have the burger, please." Instead of "I want pizza," you say, "I'd like the pizza with extra cheese."
But it goes deeper than just politeness. You need to understand the rhythm of restaurant interactions, the expected back and forth between customer and server.
Let's walk through a complete restaurant experience from start to finish, because understanding the flow is just as important as knowing the words.
First, you enter the restaurant. If it's a casual place, you might seat yourself. If it's more upscale, wait to be seated. The host might say, "How many?" or "Table for how many?" Your response, "2, please," or "Just one, thanks."
If they ask smoking or non-smoking, which is less common now but still happens, you say "non-smoking, please." If they ask about seating preference, you might say, "Could we have a table by the window?" or "Anywhere is fine."
Once you're seated, the server approaches. This is where many English learners panic, but there's actually a very predictable pattern to these interactions.
The server will usually start with, "Hi, how are you folks doing today?" or "Good evening, welcome to restaurant name." Don't overthink this. A simple "good thanks" or "great thank you" is perfect.
Then comes the drink question. Can I start you off with something to drink? Or, what can I get you to drink? This is your moment to shine with simple, clear responses.
For water, don't just say "water." Say, "Could I have water, please?" or "I'll have water." If you want sparkling water, specify, "Could I get sparkling water?" If you want still water, just regular water, please.
For other drinks, I'll have a Coke. Could I get an iced tea? I'd like coffee, please. Notice the pattern. Always use those magic phrases that sound polite and natural.
Let's practice this opening sequence.
Hi there. How are you doing today?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Can I start you off with something to drink?
I'll have an iced tea, please.
Sweet or unsweetened?
Unsweetened, thanks.
Perfect. I'll get that started for you and give you a few minutes to look at the menu.
See how smooth that was? Friendly, polite, natural. No stress, no awkwardness.
Now, while you're looking at the menu, this is where preparation becomes crucial. Don't wait until the server comes back to start figuring out what you want.
Here's a pro tip that locals use. Scan the menu strategically. Don't try to read every single item. Look for categories first: appetizers, salads, sandwiches, entrees, desserts. Find the section that appeals to you, then focus there.
If you see words you don't understand, don't panic. You have several strategies. You can ask the server, "What's in the dish name?" or "How is the dish name prepared?" These are completely normal questions that even native speakers ask.
Another strategy, look for familiar ingredients prepared in ways you might not know. For example, you might see grilled chicken breast with seasonal vegetables. You know chicken, you know vegetables. These seasonal and grilled parts you can figure out from context or ask about.
When the server returns, they'll usually say something like, "Have you had a chance to look at the menu?" Or, "Do you know what you'd like?" Or, "Any questions about the menu?"
If you need more time, could we have just another minute? Or, we're still deciding.
If you're ready, "Yes, I think we're ready," or "I know what I'd like."
If you have questions, I have a quick question about the dish name. Or, could you tell me about the dish name?
Let's practice asking about menu items, because this is where you can really sound like a local.
I have a question about the salmon dish. How is it prepared?
The salmon is grilled with lemon herbs and served with roasted vegetables and rice pilaf.
That sounds great. Is it very spicy?
Not spicy at all, just seasoned with herbs and a light lemon sauce.
Perfect. I'll have that, please.
Excellent choice. How would you like that cooked? We can do it medium or well done.
Medium sounds good.
Great. Any sides or appetizers to start?
Notice how natural that conversation flowed? The customer asked specific questions. The server gave helpful information, and everyone stayed friendly and professional.
Now let's talk about dietary restrictions and special requests, because this is where many English learners feel lost.
If you have allergies, I have a nut allergy. Do any of these dishes contain nuts? Or, I'm allergic to shellfish. Which items should I avoid?
If you're vegetarian, I'm vegetarian. What would you recommend? Or, do you have vegetarian options?
If you're vegan, I'm vegan. Are there any dishes that don't contain any animal products?
For other dietary needs, I'm gluten-free. What options do you have? Or, I'm on a low-sodium diet. Could you recommend something?
The key is being direct and clear about your needs. Restaurants deal with dietary restrictions constantly. You're not being difficult, you're being responsible.
Let's practice handling dietary restrictions.
Before I order, I should mention I'm vegetarian. What would you recommend?
Absolutely. We have several great vegetarian options. The pasta primavera is very popular. It's penne with seasonal vegetables in a light cream sauce. We also have a black bean burger that's fantastic.
How is the black bean burger served?
It comes with lettuce, tomato, and avocado on a whole wheat bun, with a side of sweet potato fries.
That sounds perfect. I'll have the black bean burger, please.
Great choice. Anything to drink with that?
See how the server was helpful and knowledgeable? Good restaurants train their staff to handle dietary restrictions professionally.
Now let's talk about modifications and special requests, because sometimes you want something slightly different from what's on the menu.
Common modifications. Could I get that without onions? Can I substitute fries for the salad? Could I have the dressing on the side? Is it possible to get extra cheese?
The magic word here is could. It's polite and gives the restaurant room to say no if something isn't possible. Could I get or is it possible to sound much better than I want or give me?
Let's practice making modifications.
I'd like the chicken Caesar salad, but could I get the dressing on the side?
Of course. Any other modifications?
Actually, could I substitute grilled chicken for the fried chicken?
Absolutely. So that's a Caesar salad with grilled chicken and dressing on the side.
Perfect, thank you.
Simple, polite, and effective. Most restaurants are happy to make reasonable modifications.
Now, what about when things go wrong? Because sometimes they do, and you need to know how to handle it gracefully.
If your order is wrong, excuse me, I think there might be a mistake. I ordered the fish, but this is chicken.
If something is missing, I'm sorry, but I don't think my salad came with the meal.
If food quality is poor, I'm sorry, but this steak is much more well done than I ordered. Could I get it recooked?
The key is staying polite but clear. Use phrases like, I think there might be a mistake, or I'm sorry, but to soften your complaint while still addressing the problem.
Let's practice handling a wrong order.
Excuse me, I think there might be a mix-up. I ordered the grilled salmon, but this appears to be chicken.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. Let me get the salmon right out for you. Would you like me to take this back?
Yes, please. How long will the salmon take?
It should be ready in about 8 to 10 minutes. Again, I'm really sorry about the confusion.
No problem. These things happen. Thank you for fixing it so quickly.
Professional, polite, and problem-solving focused. That's how locals handle restaurant mistakes.
Let's talk about the end of the meal, because this is another area where cultural differences really show up.
When you're finished eating, the server will usually ask, "How was everything?" The standard responses are, "Everything was great, thank you," "Delicious, thanks," or "Really good."
If you want the check, you can say, "Could we get the check, please?" Or, "We're ready for the bill when you have a moment." In casual places, you might say, "Check, please."
Now, here's something crucial about American restaurant culture: tipping. If you're in the US, 18 to 20% is standard for good service. If you're unsure about tipping customs in other English-speaking countries, don't be afraid to ask or research beforehand.
Let's practice ending the meal smoothly.
How was everything tonight?
Everything was delicious, thank you. The salmon was cooked perfectly.
Wonderful. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Can I get you anything else? Dessert? Coffee?
Just the check, please.
Of course, I'll have that right out for you.
Perfect ending. Compliment the food, decline additional items politely, and request the check clearly.
Now let's talk about different types of restaurants because each has its own culture and expected behavior.
Fast food places? Usually you order at a counter. The pattern is, "I'll have," followed by your order. "I'll have a Big Mac meal, medium, with a Coke." Then they ask, "For here or to go?" You answer, "For here or to go."
Fast casual places, like Chipotle or Panera. You often build your order step by step. "I'll have a burrito bowl, please." "What kind of rice?" "Brown rice." "Beans?" "Black beans." It's like a conversation where you make choices as you go.
Casual dining, like Applebee's or TGI Fridays. Full table service, servers take your order, more relaxed atmosphere. This is where all our previous practice applies perfectly.
Fine dining, more formal, servers are highly trained, wine service is common, multiple courses. The language becomes slightly more formal, but the basic patterns remain the same.
Let's practice a fast casual ordering experience.
"Hi, what can I get started for you today?"
"I'll have a burrito bowl, please."
"Great. White or brown rice?"
"Brown rice, please."
"Black beans or pinto beans?"
"Black beans."
"What kind of meat would you like?"
"Chicken, please."
"Any vegetables?"
"Could I get lettuce, tomatoes, and corn?"
"Of course. Any sauces or extras?"
"Just some mild salsa and cheese, please."
"Perfect. Anything to drink?"
"A water, please."
Your total is $12.50.
See how each question builds on the previous one? Fast casual places make ordering conversational and interactive.
Let's talk about coffee shop ordering, because this is daily life for many people and has its own special vocabulary.
Coffee shops have their own language. At Starbucks, tall means small, grand means medium, venti means large. But you can also just say small, medium, or large, and they'll understand.
Basic coffee orders. "I'll have a medium coffee, please." "Could I get a large latte?" "I'd like a small cappuccino."
For modifications, "Could I get that with skim milk?" "Can I have an extra shot of espresso?" "Could you make that decaf?"
For seasonal drinks, "I'll try the pumpkin spice latte." "What's the special drink today?"
Now let's address some common embarrassing moments and how to handle them like a pro.
Mispronouncing food names. Don't stress about this. Even native speakers mispronounce unfamiliar foods. If you're unsure, you can point to the menu and say, "I'll have this, please," or ask, "How do you pronounce this?"
Forgetting what you ordered. It happens to everyone. If the server brings food and you're not sure if it's yours, just ask, "Is this the chicken parmesan?" They'll confirm or correct.
Not understanding the server. "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Could you speak a little slower?" Are perfectly acceptable requests.
Accidentally ordering something you don't like. You can ask for a recommendation. "I'm not sure I like this. What would you recommend instead?"
The key is staying calm and polite. Restaurant staff deal with confused customers all day. You're not the first person to need help, and you won't be the last.
Let's practice handling confusion gracefully.
Here's your order. The fish and chips.
"I'm sorry, I think I might have ordered something else. What fish is this?"
This is cod. battered and fried, served with French fries.
Oh, I think I misunderstood the menu. I was hoping for something grilled. What would you recommend?
The grilled salmon is very popular, or we have grilled chicken breast.
The salmon sounds perfect. I'm sorry for the confusion.
No problem at all. Let me get that salmon started for you.
Handled perfectly. Acknowledged the mistake, asked for help, stayed polite throughout.
Now let's talk about the psychology of confident food ordering, because half the battle is mindset.
Remember, restaurant staff want you to have a good experience. They're not judging your English or your food choices. They want you to be happy so you'll come back and tip well.
You don't need to apologize for not knowing something. What's in this dish is a normal question, not an admission of ignorance.
It's okay to take time to decide. Could we have another minute? Is perfectly acceptable.
You're the customer. Polite requests for modifications, explanations, or changes are part of normal restaurant service.
Most importantly, eating out should be enjoyable. If you're stressed about your English, you're not enjoying the experience that you're paying for.
Let's practice confident ordering mindset.
Have you decided what you'd like?
Actually, could you tell me about the fish special? I'm not familiar with that preparation method.
Of course, it's pan-seared with a lemon butter sauce and herbs. Very light and flavorful.
That sounds delicious. How large is the portion?
It's a good size. Most people find it very satisfying, and it comes with 2 sides.
Perfect. I'll have that with the roasted vegetables and rice.
Excellent choice.
Confident questions, no apologies for not knowing something. Clear decision-making. That's how locals order.
Here's something crucial that most English courses don't teach: the emotional and social aspects of dining out.
Food is deeply cultural and personal. When you can navigate restaurant experiences confidently, you're not just ordering food. You're participating in local culture, building relationships, and creating positive memories.
Think about it. Some of your best memories probably involve sharing meals with people you care about. When language barriers make restaurant experiences stressful, you miss out on those connection opportunities.
But when you can order confidently, ask questions naturally, and handle problems gracefully, dining out becomes what it should be: enjoyable, social, and satisfying.
Now here's your homework, and this is important. Practice ordering in real restaurants this week.
Start small. Go to a casual place for lunch. Practice the basic patterns we've covered: polite greetings, drink ordering, asking one question about the menu, ordering your food clearly.
Pay attention to how the staff responds to your politeness and confidence. Notice how much smoother the experience is when you use the right phrases and approach.
Try one new type of restaurant. If you usually go to chain restaurants, try a local place. If you usually stick to familiar cuisines, try something new. Use the questioning techniques we practiced to learn about unfamiliar dishes.
Most importantly, enjoy the process. You're not just practicing English, you're exploring food culture, supporting local businesses, and building confidence in real-world situations.
Before we finish, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why does restaurant confidence matter so much?
Food is universal. Every culture has dining customs, special dishes, and social eating traditions. When you can navigate restaurants confidently in English, you can participate in food culture wherever English is spoken.
It's also about independence and belonging. There's something deeply satisfying about being able to walk into any restaurant, order exactly what you want, and have a pleasant experience. It makes you feel like you truly live somewhere, rather than just visiting.
For many English learners, restaurant confidence is a milestone. It's one of those moments where you realize, I can actually do this. I can live my life in English.
And finally, it's about connection. Some of the best conversations, business deals, friendships, and romantic relationships happen over shared meals. When language barriers make dining stressful, you miss those opportunities.
But when you can order like a local, you can focus on what really matters: the food, the company, and the experience.
So next time you're looking at a restaurant menu, remember, you have all the tools you need. The phrases, the strategies, the confidence, and most importantly, the understanding that restaurant staff want to help you have a great experience.
Don't let language anxiety keep you from enjoying one of life's great pleasures. Use what you've learned today, be polite and patient with yourself and others, and dive into the delicious world of dining out in English.
Thanks for joining us on English Flow today. If this episode gave you the confidence to order food without embarrassment, if you feel ready to walk into any restaurant and sound like you belong there, then we've accomplished something amazing together.
Remember, every meal is practice. Every restaurant visit builds your skills, and every positive dining experience proves that you can navigate real life confidently in English.
Until next time, keep the conversation flowing, keep exploring new flavors, and remember, you're not just learning English, you're learning to live fully in English-speaking environments.
Order with confidence and bon appetit.